Yo, what's happening, everyone? How's everyone doing? Hope everyone's having a great day. And yeah, let's chat about what's happening in the market because the altcoins kind of didn't really do anything yesterday. I was waiting for a couple setups, as you know. Um, if you guys are on the Telegram group, you'll know that we were waiting for a couple setups yesterday, but nothing really. Yeah, I know. I love my techno. But nothing really feels like we're getting a push right now. It's kind of just going sideways. So I want to speak about the coins that I'm looking at. I've got a massive Degen trade. I think someone spotted this trade actually on Monday's stream, right? Someone told me to go over this token. So shout out to that guy. But I want to go over exactly what I'm looking at for the day. I do think that we might be in for maybe a bit of a correction still. But there are a few coins that I am looking at for upside potential. Okay, so let's get straight into it and let me know if my mic's okay. Let me know if my mic is okay. I can move it a little bit forward. But let's get straight into it. Hope you guys are doing well. So first things first, I wanna chat about Bitcoin and Ethereum, and then we'll go over some alternative solutions, right? So this was my analysis yesterday, right? I was looking at Bitcoin and I was looking at that initial reaction off this level over here. I think a lot of people were looking at that initial reaction off this like 119,627 level. I think a lot of people were looking to short that zone. But yeah, then we did get quite a sharp reaction from that zone. But right now, if you do look at this in terms of a trend line, this could just be a retest of this trend line, right? So this is, if you look at this in terms of like a market structure, guys. So basically, what do we have here, right? We have this Bitcoin moving in a bit of a triangle pattern, and then right now we have finally broken out of this previous high, right? So this was the confirmation that potentially we are actually trying to shift market structure here, right? By breaking previous highs over here, maybe respect this level for a move higher. Okay, so Bitcoin is on the verge of a potential move to the upside here. We do obviously have to respect this trend line over here. If we do go down on the lower time frames, because that is the 4-hour time frame. So let's have a look at the 1 hour. So if you look at the 1 hour time frame, you can see it's kind of looking juicy, right? We did actually break this previous high. We grabbed liquidity to the downside. Everything is kind of pointing to the upside here for Bitcoin today. For confirmation for longs, we'll have to go down to the 15-minute time frame to see here. But sorry, I just have the orb open here. The orb is basically just shows you the opening high and the opening low of each session, and you can see our price kind of respects that level. So it's called the ORB. But yeah, for me to like go long here, I do want to see price start getting back above like these levels here. There is this order block over here that potentially like I want to see price get above here. I want to see a potential, yeah, this would be like my area for potential longs, because the thing is right now, like Bitcoin is respecting this trend line. Cool, yeah, we can look for longs, but we have to be careful because we are still trading below like key resistances, right? Bitcoin is still trading below like this level right over here. So in order for me to go long, and for confirmation's sake, we need to get back above 19,200, around about these levels, and then we can look to target these highs. But like for now, I just can't really take a long just based on like the trend line. I would want to see price start getting back above there. You can see how on the 15 and the 1 hour, this is acting as a severe resistance for the upside. So something to note here for Bitcoin. I will be waiting for a potential trade if we do get like 119,167. If we do get price to get above that level, then we could potentially go for a long at that point. But yeah, we just need to be careful right now looking at longs, because there is a few tokens that are looking a little bit weak, right? And I do want to go over USDT dominance as well, because USDT dominance looks like it wants to bounce as well. So we just have to be careful today. Don't want to be jumping into longs if we don't get them, right? But I do have a nice a trade for you guys that's going to come up just now. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that. I do think that this next trade is going to be good. They're going to pump to all-time high for the new moon Thursday, then drop it. Yeah, I do agree. The new moon is on Thursday. That is a potential. But the thing is, right now, in order for like scalp trading, like because we on this channel we are looking mainly for scalp trading, right? So I do in terms of looking for longs, I want to see price get above this level here on the 15-minute, right? Otherwise, it's just not really valid to take out these highs. Until then, it can't really do much. Sorry. Until then, I can't really do much. So if price does actually take out this level over here, then we can potentially look to take out the highs and potentially all-time highs around about here. So but for now, it's just not looking too juicy. Like, there's nothing really we can do. Just kind of going sideways, respecting the lows. Bitcoin for me is a little bit boring to trade. So we'll jump on to the next chart. Let's have a look at Ethereum. So this is something to watch out for ETH, guys. So yesterday, I'm watching Ethereum closely because it's kind of looking bearish. Not bearish, but I'm saying in terms of like lower time frame. So like I said yesterday or Monday, we're saying, okay, ETH is sitting at this previous high, yeah, guys. So if we have a look at ETH, we can see ETH is literally sitting at this previous swing high. We've monitored that zone. We are getting rejected from that level. The next clear zone is 4,109. That is your next swing high that price wants to take out. But we haven't as of yet seen like quite a healthy retracement, right? If you actually think about it, like Ethereum has been pumping for severely for quite a long time, right? So we had 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we just had consolidate for like 3 days, and then we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, like a full week of just pumping, right? So I do think that we are due for maybe a small retracement here for Ethereum. Just based on the daily time frame, looking at this, we're at the swing high. We haven't really came down back down to test this zone over here. 3,400 level, that's what I'm looking at for longs. If we do get that, we're going to get a juicy long, which is why I'm being really patient to jump into longs now. I don't want to jump into longs when I'm looking at the charts and I'm seeing that there is potential for retracement, right? You don't want to be stuck in a long and be stuck in drawdown for too long, right? It's not something that I like to trade, right? So if you do look at the 4-hour time frame, yesterday we did actually get the break here, guys. I was speaking about this on Monday as well, but price was trading like this. We did break below this trend over here. We broke structure, guys. We did break structure. This is looking like it wants to continue down. I'll be honest with you guys. It's not looking too great for Ethereum. Ethereum does look like it wants to continue coming down lower here. Have a look at the 1 hour. The 1 hour time frame also broke trend over here. So this is, like, you could look to take out like these lows over here, stop loss just above this level here. That's a small little scalp, but yeah, there's nothing really bullish for ETH here. The only bullish scenario for Ethereum would obviously just be if price does get back above this 3,747 level, right? If we start closing 1 hour candles above there, then we can look to target the highs. But honestly, breaking trend over here, breaking 4-hour trend here, closing below this support right over here, nothing's really pointing to the upside for Ethereum right now. So I think shorts is more like on the cards for now. It's looking that way, right? So if you look at Ethereum, it's just looking terrible. Yeah, I mean, that would have been the entry, I guess, taking the sell on the break of that trend line. I did want to go live a little bit earlier to see if we could have got that, but yeah, it's just right now the problem is like with these trend lines and looking for sells, especially in this type of market. Sometimes like I was saying on Monday, like we do get these shallow retracements. We don't really get these deep retracements where like I'm expecting a dip to like 3,400, right? All the way back down around about a 7% drop for Ethereum. But we might not even get that, right? So taking sells on these trend lines, you would have to take profits very, very aggressive. This is like, these would be my TPs because there's just nothing really you can do here besides, look for these targets to the downside. And the problem is, like I said, it's just gonna be super shallow if we don't get a push here with volume. So I think Ethereum has potential to come down today, guys. But like what I'm saying for longs, we have to be a bit more patient to wait for longs. Okay. Yeah. So Bitcoin also getting that reaction, right? Like I said, the only bullish scenario for Bitcoin today is going to be 119,160, right? That is pretty much my only bullish case scenario for Bitcoin today. I'm having a look at Zero here, guys. This is looking very interesting. This is another altcoin I'm looking at right now. If Zero does break this level, I'll be honest with you, this thing could dump super hard here. But we just have to be careful. I'll probably just look for a scalp to like these lows over here. I will be looking at a potential sell here for Zero. Looking similar to what Ethereum is looking at, just breaking that trend. Zero has been trading upwards, pretty bullish, right? Creating higher highs, higher lows. But right now, we're starting to, start to form these lower highs. And we're looking like we want to start breaking trend here. So this type of setup, we have to be patient here, guys. The 4-hour time frame is closing in 19 minutes. But if we do somehow get a close below here, I will be looking to take sells. And then we can look for buys around about this area, because if you do look at Zero, like we haven't really had, this is just consolidation to the upside, right? So we haven't really had a deep retracement. We do have this gap over here that does need to get filled, potentially, right? So that is something I would wait for. It's also your previous resistance to the left over here. If you do draw this to the left, you'll see that price has been respecting this level. So there is a potential that Zero can come down here as well. So potential sells in Zero is something that I'm looking at today as well. Okay, so it's one of those days. I think the market could potentially retrace. We did speak about the retracements on Monday, which is why I didn't really post any long setups, because nothing was really valid until today, right? I wanna get these retracements first. Okay. Bitcoin dump increase next 2 weeks. Zero, should we take a long now? No. You can't take a long now on Zero. The reason why you can't take a long now on Zero this top wick on the 4-hour time frame. Can you see how we've created a massive top wick? So like my thing with trading, guys, let me just explain something quickly to you guys. So if you're looking for sells, right? If you're looking for sells, you want to wait for the candle to close below a certain level or close above a certain level, whatever. But if you're looking for sells, you wait for the candle to close, you wait for a top wick to get formed, and then you take sells when the candle flips bearish. The reason why I trade like this is because in order for price to come down, you need price to grab liquidity in order to push it down, right? Otherwise, there's just no volume within that trade, right? So once you create, you can see how price is creating this top wick right now for Zero, right? This means it's grabbing liquidity in order to push price down, right? So in order for buys right now, we would have to wait for the candles, but there's no ways you can take buys off this trend line when it's showing selling pressure with this top wick right over here. So this is your first clue. Like, if you didn't see this top wick over here, if there was no top wick, and then we just saw this, then I'd be like, okay, well, there's a possibility that this is creating a bottom wick in order to flip bullish, right? You know what I mean? So you kind of have to look at candles like that, right? Where scenario, where we can go over some scenarios with this, but it's just how I trade, and it makes sense, right? Because in order for price to come down, sometimes you'll see price just absolutely melt down, like on a news day, or like if there's massive news within that token. But normally market will try to grab liquidity first and then push price down. Same with buys, right? If you're looking for buys, you want price to create a bottom wick first, and then we look for buys to the upside, right? So I prefer waiting for that, because you are going to be trading with the move, right? So just Zero right now, I would not take longs on Zero. Look at the 1 hour time frame. We're looking like we want to break lower. If we do get a close below here, we can potentially take sells. I'll be honest with you guys. I just hate taking sells in this type of market, because the retracements are going to be super shallow. But market structure is showing that we are coming down here. So a good thing to note, the first thing to note, if you want to look for change in market structure, so you can see, guys, how we are making these higher highs and higher lows, right? And then what actually happened is this high, this was our previous high, this is our previous high. So you see how price is just making lower highs the whole time, and then now we're kind of just forming a bit of a range. So if we start to break below this range, we can look for sells all the way back down to this level here. And then we can look for those buys a little bit later on, right? Like I said, Ethereum does need a retrace, guys. Ethereum does need to retrace in order for that massive bullish move next, right? Because I think this could be the last potential retracement for that next bullish move. Okay, so I will be focusing probably on sells today. Like I said, I'm very neutral when it comes to trading, but I I just don't really see the buy scenario. I mean, look at Ethereum's. I mean, this was actually super clean, bro. We could have actually taken that, I'll be honest. We could have actually taken that trade. And the reason why we could have taken that trade is just because of the 4 hour and the daily time frame, right? Because the 4 hour time frame showed price respecting this previous daily level, right? This is your previous daily swing high, right? This level over here. If the 4 hour time frame respects that level and we get a 1 hour time frame that closes below trend over here, you know, that is a confirmation that we're most probably going to come down. So yeah, I mean, I didn't take the trade, but it shows, you know, we are obviously, you know, looking at the right things here. So that's something to look at. I think, you know, Ethereum, like I said, Ethereum could easily just come down, you know, take out these lows, flip bullish, and then we look for longs. Like I said, these retracements might not even be that intense, right? We might not even get a retracement all the way back down here. It might not just happen. I hope it does happen, because that would be amazing. But you know, just trade what's on the chart, and then I do take profits really, really aggressively, because especially when you're looking at shorts in a bullish market, you want to be taking profits at these lows. You know, there's no point of holding all the way to here unless you leave a runner. So that is Ethereum, guys. That is Ethereum. I think Ethereum does have room to come down a little bit here today. I think that we can potentially take out these lows and maybe flip bullish and then look for longs. Yeah, it's a pity that we didn't get into this trade, because this would have been a good trade, and I would have actually just been risk free at this point, because you know, we've really taken out this high here. So anyway, we didn't end up taking this trade, but it was something that we were looking at for now. So the next setup, guys, I am actually looking at this token here. I actually bought some spots here, I'll be honest with you guys. This is a bit of a Degen play. Someone mentioned this token on stream, yes, on Monday. I did actually buy some today, right? The reason why I bought some, we did actually get a daily breakout over here. We are retesting this trend line. You know, this could be a rejection, but I do think that this has potential, guys. I am looking at this. It's called 1000x. It's called 1000x USDT. This thing absolutely looks bullish. I did buy some spots. This is looking very similar, like I said the other day, it's looking very similar to that you know, that XRP breakout that we're speaking about. If you guys don't know what we're talking about, it's that trade that we took last you know, a couple of weeks ago. XRP was trading you know, pretty much sideways for 220 days, and then we had that massive push. We took this trade in the Legends community. The TP was at that high, but it's looking very, very similar, right? Where we have price consolidating, getting a breakout, right? Flirting with the trend line a little bit, around about 255 days of just sideways pure price action, and then we get the price breaking out here. So it is a bit of a Degen play. You know, don't hold me by it, but you know, if this thing pumps, it pumps. I am jumping in here with a spot position here. I wouldn't put leverage on this trade, because it's just very, very stupid. And the thing is, we have around about an 800% without leverage, so you don't actually need leverage on this trade. And the problem with leverage on like this type of trade right now would just give you a lot more downside risk, because I'm happy to hold in a bit of a negative here on a spot position, right? I've been holding negative on my spot positions for probably so long anyway. So for me, that I'm not really worried on that. But when you start like holding onto negatives on a leverage trade, it just the fees do add up, especially like if you swing trading, because you pay a lot of fees in terms of funding. Like the funding fee every 8 hours, you'll pay a fee for holding a trade. I do think on spot you do pay a fee, but it'll be a lot less, right? But in terms of futures, your margin size will be a lot more, you know, and it will just put you a lot more downside risk holding a trade open for a longer period of time, whereas on spot, you know, you don't pay as much fees. Okay, so this is a very Degen trade. Someone did point this out in the last stream, and I did want to take it. I'll be honest, it looks clean. Bro, can you do XRP sweet ETH? Pingu getting ready for a nice short sub dev. Yeah, that Pingu trade that Pingu trade was a bit annoying. I was waiting for it yesterday. You guys remember that trade? I did miss it, I'll be honest with you guys. I did miss this one. We were waiting for this. Do you guys remember what we were saying yesterday? We're waiting for the break of the trend, which is exactly what we got. it was a bit annoying because I saw this over here, right? And then, yeah, I missed it. But this is exactly what we were saying. We're waiting for price to break out of the trend, retest, and then look for the longs. The other scenario was price to come back down, retrace here, and then look for longs, and it hit our target perfectly. But yeah, Pingu is looking a little bit weak right now. Like I said, it's already tapped that target to the upside. But yeah, it's looking like it wants to come lower. I do think that Ethereum is dumping. Yeah. Yeah, we just have to be careful right now. Like the problem is like, especially in this type of market, we just don't know how deep these retracements are gonna go, right? You know, sometimes they only go 0.238%, sometimes 0.38 to like, sometimes we don't even see a 0.5 or 0.618 or 0.7, right? We just see these shallow retracements, and then, you know, like I was saying, we see like bull flags after bull flags, right? So bull flags are very shallow, you know, 32.8%, very 38.2%. It's very shallow, right? So yeah, I mean, looking at this price action right now, like I would have to wait for price to break support over here. You know, but there's nothing really much to do here. I think Pingu just looks bullish. We could probably look for a breakout over here. Like I'm saying, these bull flags, potential like breakouts, these are what you want to be trading right now. I'll be honest with you. Anything that looks like this, with the potential of a breakout, this is what you want to be trading, because in this type of market, you know, if price does hold these supports, we do tend to just see price breakout, and you know, you can just see our price is moving here, just kind of just ranging between two key levels. So I will be looking at a potential breakout here to the upside. But yeah, we did miss that Pingu long, a bit annoying. I'm gonna put an alert there just in case we do get a breakout. We can look to take out like 0.48. Yeah, around about 0.48. Okay. So that's something I'm looking at for Pingu for the short-term time frame. This is on the 5-minute time frame, right? So, so Jupiter. If you guys remember Jupiter, we were looking at this yesterday. You know, the problem I didn't take this trade. The problem was because we were holding this level here, guys. Do you remember what I said yesterday? I was waiting for price to close below this gap over here. We just didn't really get it, right? So price came down, didn't close below, and then I was like, okay, well, oh wait, my screen's frozen. My screen's frozen. Alright. So this was that Jupiter setup. Basically, what I was waiting for, guys, was price to close below this gap over here. Can you see how we didn't close below it? Price literally closed respecting, came up, closed respecting, then we got the closure below, and then we retested, and now we're starting to come down. So the problem is it was just a little bit too choppy for me. Like, what, I don't want to be sitting in this sideways price action, bit of a 50-50 trade. Although we did break trend, I just didn't really want to be sitting in this without getting that closure below, which is why I was waiting the whole day for this trade. Like, I was genuinely just waiting and sitting here waiting for this trade. When I saw this, I was like, okay, you know, wait for that retracement back into here, and then I was looking to short this, but then we had that pump up, and then I was like, okay, no. There was just a lot of chop within that zone, and it just didn't really come into play, which is why I didn't post a trade. But I was looking at this. It just didn't really come into play. What were the other tokens you guys want me to go over? Look at Algo. It will fly at some points. Let's have a look. I miss Pingu too. Yeah, no, Pingu, bro. It's so frustrating. I was literally looking at Pingu, and then I don't know what happened. Let's have a look at Algo. That's a problem. Like, I'll be honest with you guys, in this type of market, it's so hard. Like, I mean, I am on the charts the whole day, but like, I mean, if I go to gym for like 30 minutes or like an hour, you know, then I've missed a trade. You know what I mean? Like, it's super hard. Like, taking 1 hour out of the day can actually make you miss a trade, which is a little bit frustrating. Sorry, let's have a look at this. So this is Algo. Algo. I mean, I haven't looked at Algo in a minute. Right? But Algo looking decent, yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be this level here. There's that fair value gap there. I mean, I'm hoping for the best scenarios for us, guys. I'm hoping we get this retracement. I'll be honest with you. I do hope we do get a retracement here, guys, because everything is in bullish structure right now. Everything is in bullish structure, but in terms of like actually taking longs right now, we have to be patient. Like, especially on the altcoins, you know, this does look like it wants to come down, and kind of take out these highs. Because the thing is, if you look left over here, I don't think we actually broke above this high. Have a look over here. This is how I like to see if we actually did, right? You want to go to the left and see on this wick over here, you know, we literally closed. Let me just grab this tool over here. Yeah, we closed respecting that high, guys. I don't like that. I'll be honest with you, I don't like that. What does that mean? It means that price is most probably just going to get rejected from these levels. So like, can we look for longs right now? No, not really. We need price to come down to these levels first, and then we take the longs. Okay. If we look at the 4-hour time frame, it's very clear that we didn't close above as well. The 4-hour time frame literally closed respecting that level to the T. Right. Have a look. Literally closed respecting multiple wicks to the upside. That would have trapped a lot of people going long, and then end up actually closing bearish, closing shorts, and then have a look over here. So honestly, let's have a look at the 1 hour. I mean, it's just looking weak right now. This is kind of just looking like a bit of a Bart Simpson. So this type of pattern, guys, Bart Simpson trading pattern. I used to like. I mean, it's a bit of a meme, I guess, but it does actually play out. I'll be honest. Like, this type of choppiness, price action, anything that looks like a bit of a Bart Simpson, this is something that you know, potentially can happen, right? So what you'll see is you'll get like a massive pump up, right? You get a massive pump up, and then just sideways pure price action of just consolidation, right? Just sideways pure price action consolidation of just like choppiness, right? Just that pure choppiness price action. And then what actually happens is we actually retrace that whole move, guys. Like, that's something that can happen, yeah. So am I wrong? But let me actually what I'll do is, let me actually get a Bart Simpson, and I'll put it on the chart, bro. Let's actually grab this guy. Alright, copy this up. So this is exactly what I'm looking at here. So we're gonna have to no background. Okay, we'll just choose this blade. Okay, we'll grab him. This should be fine. Anyway, it's not giving me the background, but anyway, so you guys understand what I'm looking at. Yeah, it's a bit of a fail, but you know what I'm looking at. So basically, price is just essentially this whole move over here could potentially get retraced, right? So we just have to be careful. I'll be honest with you. You know, this sideways price action, it's looking like we want to retrace back into these daily levels, and then we get that push higher. So I'm actually gonna be focusing on shorts today, guys. Do we have any news there? No news there. Tomorrow we have news. Right. We don't have news there, but nothing really to worry about. Yeah, I'm gonna look at some sells here, but I mean, there's nothing really we can do. Like, we can just take the sell based on the Bart Simpson, but I mean, it doesn't really make sense. But that's something to watch out for. So what I'm saying is, this type of price action, like, the only reason why I'm like, okay, well, you know, price is probably not going to go higher is because we didn't break this high. You know, we literally closed respecting this high on multiple daily time frames and in multiple 4-hour candles. So you know, that's showing me pure rejection. I'll be honest with you. It's showing me price is most probably just going to get absolutely smoked all the way back down to these levels here, and then we can look for those longs. Be patient, wait for these setups to come. Don't just jump in blindly here. You know, that's obviously what a lot of people do. Okay, what else are we looking at? CRV has retraced now. CRV is really nice retracement to 0.9 and it's pumping. Let's have a look at CRV. Yeah, so I mean, let's have a look at CRV. That is a good point. I haven't looked at CRV in a while, so let's have a look. Alright. Alright. CRV. Let me play some music in the background quickly. Just nothing too crazy. As long as you guys can hear me with a bit of music, we all good. Okay, so like let's have a look at CRV. Looking decent. I mean, the weekly time frame, I mean, massive weekly, not really any bottom work even on this candle, which means that, you know, buyers are in control. If we do look at the daily time frame, you know, something to note is this is our previous swing daily high. Alright, so this is our swing daily high over there. What I'll do is I'm just going to mark out the previous day high and the previous day low just to see where our levels are for potential retest and all of that. So this is our previous day high over here. This is our previous day low. I want to go straight to the 1 hour time frame and see what's happening here. So we did get a breakout here, guys, on the 1 hour time frame. I guess this is the breakout right over here. We have multiple you know, trend line reactions at the zone. Multiple trend line reactions at the zone. We have the breakout retest. If we consolidate above this level here, we can potentially look at potential longs, because this is looking similar to a bit of a bit of a clean setup here. It's looking similar to that XRP trade that we took a couple weeks ago over here, right? You know, holding this level as support and then looking for that breakout, right? So with CRV, I mean, I don't like how we've just created this massive top wick. We've pretty much taken out all these highs already. So let's have a look at the 50-minute here. Okay, I've already got the setup here. So we've got the setup. I can just see it. So the first thing is, I mean, the 50-minute time frame. He has this this fair value gap over here. We have closed bearish below this gap. So in order for me to look for longs there, we have to start getting back above this level, and that would be the key. Okay, the reason why that's the key is because we closed bearish here. This is looking more like a fake out. The more I look at it, right? On the 1 hour time frame, it's, you know, we've pretty much taken out the highs, and we've closed bearish below that gap as well. So everything's pointing as a potential fake out. But if somehow we do get a close, the 50-minute close above this level here, 1.0134, 1.013 above this level here on the 50-minute time frame, I'll go long and look to target the highs, right? I'll be looking to target these highs for CRV if and only if, guys, if and only if price closes above this level here on the 50-minute time frame. Because right now we've literally closed respecting this level. We need price to close above here to actually close back respecting this previous resistance, and then we look to take out the highs. But like I said, right now, because we've closed below this gap, there is a potential for price to actually retrace and come down. So we can't take the long now. Does that make sense? So patience on this one. Wait for price to close above this level here, 1.0130 for the longs, guys. Okay. Does that make sense? Because right now we are coming down here, guys. We are coming down here. So we don't want to take longs, right? We don't want to take longs. Before I jump into any other altcoins, guys, I just want to quickly look at USDT dominance. What is happening here with USDT dominance holding that support, guys, holding this level here as supports. So this is definitely something we have to look at today. I mean, we can't not look at USDT dominance, guys. We just made a triple bottom here. There is potential for a bit of a breakout here for USDT dominance. So we have to be careful. I think sells into buys could be the play. What I mean by that is we sell into a buy zone, and then we look for buys later on, right? I think that could be the plates there, because USDT dominance is showing price holding these lows here, the supports, which is something we have to obviously keep in the back of our mind, right? We have to know that, okay, well, if USDT dominance is holding support, well, then there is a potential that, you know, everything else could be holding resistance and we get a dump, right? So, you know, trading with USDT dominance can obviously help you guys out, because it will give you confirmation that, okay, if we are holding support, sells are more valid right now than longs, right? Unless we start breaking support over here, then okay, fine, longs are more valid, right? But yeah, USDT dominance is obviously holding support. Just be careful. I think sells into buys is probably going to be the play today. Okay, does that make sense? Massive bullish divergence on USDT. Let's have a look at that. I don't really trade bullish divergence, but let's have a look at RSI. yeah, I mean that's, yeah. If we look at the 4 hours, what do you mean? Yeah, it's crazy, bro. Yeah, actually, that's actually insane. That's actually insane. I haven't looked at RSI. I haven't looked at a divergence like this big in a while, right? This is massive. I mean, this was your huge. When was this, bro? So we had massive bullish divergence over here. Can you see? So basically, bullish divergence just means, guys, so when price is making lower lows, right? So price is coming down, and then the RSI is showing strength. It's showing that there is a divergence between price and RSI. And you know, there's a potential for it to actually work in the opposite way. So if RSI is going up and the price is coming down, then you'll start to see, you know, this could actually, the RSI start gaining momentum and pushing price up. So essentially, like here, you know, we do have some bullish divergence over here, and we do have bullish. This whole thing is pretty much just bullish divergence. You know, we do have a potential breakout as well here on the RSI. I don't really, I mean, the last time I looked at the RSI was a couple of years ago, bro. But yeah, I mean, it is kind of breaking out on the RSI. It is kind of breaking out on the RSI. So yeah, this is what I'm saying. This is my whole thesis today, right? It's kind of playing out. I'm looking for sells into buys, right? So for Ethereum, you know, we're looking for that sell off, right? That sell off into the buy zone a little bit later on, like 3,000. I'm hoping we get 3,450, guys. I really do hope we do get that, because I'm gonna go gig along at those levels, but I don't think it's possible to see that type of retracement right now. Maybe within the next couple of days, but let me just remove this RSI. It's very frustrating to me now. I don't like using RSI. I think it's the worst tool in the world, but in divergences it does play out. So let's have a look at the Fibia for Ethereum. I mean, yeah, I think we're looking at 3,500 on the dot as well, guys. This could be also a key level here. This is your 0.65 retracement. This would probably be the ideal long scenario. I don't think, we might even just come down, take out this low, and then potentially, you know, take, I don't know if we'll tap this level here, but this is a daily gap over here that potentially needs to get filled. But for the short term, I think coming down to 3,500, I'll go long from that level. So I'm just gonna wait for price action today. It's gonna be a slow day, unless we look for those sells on the breaks. But it's like I said, it's very chopped right now. Even with zero, you know, we didn't get the close below, which is very frustrating. So we didn't get the close below, which is very annoying. So what I'm trying to say is, because we didn't close below here, we can't take the trade, and there's a possibility of zero actually pumping off this trade line, because we are on bullish structure. So this is the whole thing. When we are on bullish structure, these sells that you take should be very short-term lived, right? If you are attempting to take sells, because the buys are going to always overpower the sells in this type of market. So yeah, so but for curve, guys, I think this is a clean setup, and I will take this today. So if you guys are new to the Telegram, guys, make sure to join the group here, guys. Make sure to join the group if you guys are looking to get some signals over here. This is the Andy's group. Make sure you do join this. I did post a signal the other day. I haven't posted on this week, because I've just been waiting, and I don't want to give like bad signals for the community. I want people to obviously make money, right? I don't want to just give a signal for the sake of giving a signal. I will keep you updated pretty much every single second of the day. You know, this was that long we took for grass the other day. It played out and then hit break even pretty much instantly. And then we took a beautiful deep long and then an OP long the other day. But yeah, this week has been super you know, hard. Like I said, for zero, same thing here. You know, we spoke about it. There's nothing really to do. I did take this buy here for a Degen spot trade, right? I think it's a bit risky, but guys, we have 800% potential here for this token, 1000x USDT Degen spot trade. So this is on Phemex that I bought it on. So yeah, this is the token I'm looking at here for long. So curve CRV, we could potentially look for longs here if we do get that 15-minute candle to close above this level here for a potential setup. All right, but I'm probably gonna jump off soon. I do have to go for 15 minutes, but I do want to see if we can. Close above here, because then we can take the trade off the bat here, because CRV is holding, and this is looking bullish compared to most tokens here today. So your stop loss for this trade would just be below this low over here, right? Keep it super tight. You want to keep it below this low. If you keep it below here, you can potentially keep it below here, but then you know, I don't think if we start breaking below this level here, it's just, for me, it's just not really valid, right? But I want to get ready to post a setup here, so I'm probably gonna head off on the live within the next 2 to 3 minutes here, because I do want to get ready to post a setup, and it does take me quite a while to get this in. So make sure you guys do join the group, also the Telegram and the Discord here as well. Make sure you guys do join, because I will be posting this next trade within the next 15 to 20 minutes if we do obviously get the closure above this level. So I do appreciate everyone for joining today. I hope you guys did enjoy the live. You know, like I said, wait for the candles to close. Rather just trade whatever price is doing. Don't just trade what you're feeling. And yeah, I'll see you guys on Friday. Today is Wednesday. Hopefully we do get some trades today. I do want to finish off the day with a nice little setup. But like I said, if nothing really comes into plan, well, then I can't take the trade, guys. I just can't. So yeah, I do appreciate everyone for joining today. I do appreciate everyone for being here, and I'll see you guys back on Friday. So make sure you guys look at the CRV setup. I'm waiting for 1.0130 around 1.0130. If we close above there on the 15, I'll be gladly to take a long here. So